Right guys, welcome. Let's check I've got my mic on. Yep. Just wanted to run through a little race sim at Mugello with the AlfaRacer987. So this is going to be a full race run hopefully. I always try and do one of these just see how the tyres are going to be and stuff. I think they're going to be pretty worn by the end, so it should be interesting to see how that goes.
All clear, push now.
So this will be a half hour plus a lap, so I'll probably go for about 32 minutes, 33 minutes, something like that. Kind of just streaming it because it gets a bit boring otherwise, just going around. So I've got to make sure I keep it on track. So I'm running with 109 kilos for this race, so I'm actually the heaviest one for a change. Colin isn't actually the heaviest for a change, so that is going to be not so much fun down the straights. I'm going to have to make up most of my time in the corners, doing crazy stuff like that, while at the same time trying to keep the tyres alive. So that's going to be interesting. There we go. This corner's an absolute pain with the ballast as well. It just kind of bogs in fourth, but if you change down to third, it's just no good, is it? Again, you could go down second, but I'm thinking third, especially just try and keep the tyres alive a bit more, cut out the wheel spin. Here's another one where you're thinking, oh, do I go second, do I go third? I think the second and just you get the kick out then. You do carry the speed all the way down this bit then. There we go. I should be flat, but just the line was wrong. It's all about the exit, all about the exit. That's where if you just go on the throttle a little bit too early, you're done. Because then you have to lift off and it's just... Well, let's see what sort of lap times I can do. Full fuel and basically full ballast. I don't think I'm going to be that close to Mr. Whitehead, but we'll see. Plus I'm not going flat out, because obviously I'm trying to look after my tyres, but we'll see what we can do, eh? I think if I can do 205, so that'd be pretty good. See, that's just screws me tons of time, that is. Also a million miles away from the apex, but just it's enough. This is a track where you can really cut the curbs a lot. That does help. Let's try some third, let's see what happens, shall we? It just bogs a bit, doesn't it? Feels like it bogs. This setup's a bit loose there, but it understeers everywhere else, so I'm quite pleased with the way it handles now. Greg's done pretty much all the work, so hats off to him. Good job. Right, well, this is a 206 fight. See, I think this sort of pace is really where I'm going to be at. I'd like to be doing 205.
206.5. The 210's off your best in sector 3.
It's probably not. this is a corner where I very often get it wrong, where I think I can get back on the power, and then it just understeers out wide.
Sector 1 time is good.
Oh, that's a bit of a cut. That's right. So sometimes you take the first bit too fast, it compromises you on the second bit, which is actually more important. One thing you learn very quickly on sim racing is it's all about the exit rather than the entry. The entry will gain you a 10th, but if you can't get out the corner, you just lose it all. Especially in cars like this, which are momentum cars, they say.
Sector 2 time is okay.
Yeah, you really got to carry the momentum in this car. It's not the most powerful. It's not bad, you know, but it's just... it's a bit boggy with only 5 gears. Got to stop doing that, it's fun, but it's probably not the fastest way, is it? You can kind of play around with the lines in this corner. You can go a bit wider and get a later apex and you just carry more speed down the straight, or you driving a bit quicker and gain a few tenths that way. And because it's such a long corner, you don't actually lose
You've just done a
too much on
206.0.
exit.
Sector 3 time is fast.
Well, I'm nearly hitting the limiter here, so I think in the race, the non-ballasted cars will probably, especially in the tow, are going to be hitting the limiter, I think, which might play into my hands. I said I haven't on this setup, so see there, classic case, going too fast in the first one, running it too wide, and now look at the delta, just half a second, pretty much.
Sector 1 is 0.5, slower than your best.
And that's where, when the tyres are warm, it's going to be very easy to overdrive. Whey. Okay. That's where I need to be. Look at the delta now, right in the green, made up tons of time. That's where I need to be.
Sector 2 time is good.
Come on, get in. A few people might wonder why I use ABS. And, traction control's on as well. That's not good. I only just realised traction control's on.
That
Okay.
lap time was 206.0. Sector 3 time's okay.
So on the AC I actually did use traction control and some people didn't. On this, to be honest, this car was horribly understeery with traction control on as default, but with this setup it's not actually too bad. So this is not a bad test actually as to whether or not traction control is good or not. And some people are like,
2
well,
tenths off your
you know,
best.
you
Sector 1.
should have the raw experience, and having the traction control and ABS off is, you know, what you should do. But at the end of the day, when Formula 1 teams had the option of running traction control or ABS systems, they run it because they could run it and it'd be faster. So for me, I kind of test it, see what works, and if I think it's faster, I run it. thing about ABS
Sector 2 time is quick.
is that basically, for a start, I don't like the braking on the assist course. I have to really do tons of practice before I'm dialed in on it. iRacing, no problem at all. Assist course, for some reason, I just don't agree with the braking. It's just something's not quite right. But also, when I've had limited time to practice, it just gives me a bit more time just to work on kind of my lines and easier to find braking points, stuff like that really. Whereas obviously when you've got ABS off, you've got to deal with the whole ABS off thing. You know what I mean? You've got to work on your braking a lot as well. So it's a bit more time consuming. In terms of traction control, I just play with it until I think I'm fastest. You know.
Sector 3 time's okay.
Then as well, you've got to consider the race. So, I mean, in the TCR, which is front wheel drive, always have the traction control off because you just get better turning. You know, it's a real understeery car. You get a better turning, so it's definitely best to run it off. But on these cars, especially in kind of the longer race, you know, you've got a half-hour race.
Sector 1 is quick.
So it's kind of, I do kind of think it's probably best to have it on. Especially ABS. That I think this car, because it's not that powerful, you know, you can traction control off pretty easily. It doesn't, you know, very rarely comes round on you.
Sector 2 is 0.4 off your best.
Right, so tyres are already starting to go off a little bit. We're not very far into this run. So that is slightly worrying. Because the other thing traction control will do is totally keep the tyres alive a bit more. So stop them from spinning. I wonder how much going on the curbs. Running over curbs kind of affects the tyre wear in this game. And that's from all the sims do it all differently, so you just don't know how. Depends on the tyre model, you know. I've already lost about half a second. Wasn't the best lap in the world, but I'm losing time already.
That last lap was at 206.2. Sector 3 is 0.2 off your best.
Sector 2 is one with all the curves, obviously. As the fuel comes out, there we go. I should go faster on the straights, but the tyre wear is going to be a killer on these corners. But this is why I'm doing this run, basically. I want to see exactly how much of a problem it is.
Sector 1 is 1/10 off your best.
That's a big problem. Big problem.
Alright, Tim, you need to watch the track limits.
Good job, damage is off, isn't it? Alright. Again, classic case, going in too hard on the first one and then using the second one, so. And that's not going to help the tyre wear at all either, so. But it's pretty realistic, you know. It's probably what is going to happen. Be interested to see how it goes. I think my prediction is I won't be one of the fastest, but if I can keep it all together, I can probably get a solid finish. You know, maybe depending on how many people fall off really, but perhaps a top 5 or something. What I really don't want though is like a top kind of 7 or a top 8, because it just means I'm going to get success ballast again. You know, I'm getting basically my base ballast is based on championship position, which is championship position is pretty good. So obviously by no scoring, I'm going to really lower that, which is kind of good in a way. So I get this ballast, but it should definitely help with, you know, I'll basically still get success ballast added if I finish 7th and 8th, you know, whereas if I finish last, or outside the points, say 10,
Sector 1 time's okay.
it's going to help a lot in terms of ballast. Yeah, I didn't quite get that apex, did I?
Sector 2 is 0.9 off your best.
So yeah, you know, I'm kind of, if I don't get a good result, it doesn't really matter too much, to be honest. I'm not putting any pressure on it. The last race I'd have been pissed off if I hadn't got a good result, but this one I've kind of already written it off really. But if I can get a top, if I can get on the podium and stuff, I think with this amount of ballast that'd be pretty good. Corin's on similar, so he's the one who, let me just check the time. Okay, we're about halfway through this run. Tires have gone off, but they're kind of holding now.
Sector 3 is 0.3, slower than your best.
So I can hold it in the 206s for a minute. That'll be pretty good. I might have to take a bit more off that first one. The delta's not too bad. Only a 2/10 or something.
Sector 1 is 2/10 off your best.
It sets up
Tim,
nicely
you've got
there
half
for
your
the second
fuel
one.
left.
I'm going to gain a bit of time. Not sure whether an earlier change to 4th might help me there, just to settle the car a bit. Might be able to get a slightly faster exit, but right, come on, I'll get this curb. I get understeer now. That is literally the predominant feature of this car. It's just tons of understeer, any sort of speed, but not much you can do about it, really, unfortunately. I did try everything they could in the setup, really, to limit that, but oh, it's an awful corner. What am I doing? Brake too early, I think. It's under speed all the way through. No, I'm still on for 206, so that's fine. Gain some in some places, lose some in others. Now near the apex. This cost me some time. And now hitting the limiter.
You've just done a 206.8. Sector 3 is 0.5 off your best.
Okay, still in the 206s. Tyres are holding on. Front right's not looking very happy, but we'll see. Oh no, no. Oh, the understeer's getting quite bad now. Especially on the right-handers.
Sector 1 is 0.7 off your best.
Yeah, it helped me. Alright. That's what we got to do in testing as well, you know, just experiment with different gearing, different lines. And that's where the Delta is so helpful. And when I race cars, actually properly, didn't have one.
Sector 2 is
You know,
0.7, slower than
you
your
could get a
best.
V-Box, which was kind of over £1,000, I think it was. Which had like the cameras and you could analyse it afterwards, but never actually used one. That's not purple tyres, is it? But yeah, having a Delta as accurate as this one is would have made all the difference. All the difference. Because when you're out there, you've got no real idea what you're doing is good or not. You know what I mean? You take a different line, and you're like, that felt fast, but without a Delta, you're literally just pissing to wind. And you know, even if you've got a lap timer, it shows you the time at the end of the lap. Did you make up that time in the first
Your lap
sector?
time was
In the second sector, in the third
207.4.
sector,
Sector
there's
3
one
is
corner that you
0.4
just
off your
nailed,
best.
you know, or you fucked up. You literally just don't know. A Delta like this, and obviously like the Formula 1 guys, you know, they spend half their time looking at their Delta, you know, because it's just that important. I was hoping a little bounce over the inside of that curve might have pulled me around a bit, but
Sector 1 is 0.1 off your best.
a fly on the screen, it's a bit annoying. So the big question now is, well, it's a bit too much I think, do I keep traction control on for the race? The annoying thing is I'm probably going to have to do another run like this. Put traction control off and basically see what the time, see how the tyres go.
You're a second off your best in Sector 2.
The understeer is strong with this car. I need to concentrate on this corner. Oh no! Yeah. So I thought I was braking too early and that was a problem, but actually braking later didn't help me there the slightest, so work to be done on that corner I think. And now my tyres are fucked, look at that. When they get hot in this game they get really, really slidey, so definitely no good. Pressures are a bit high in the rear, that's the only thing I would say about this setup, but it might be because I've got the extra ballast compared to a lot of people, so their pressures might actually be alright. Right, this is what I came here for really. Came here for the see how this car handled with those with bad tyre wear. See if I could get the car holding on. See if I can still drive it.
Sector 1 is 0.5 off your best.
I've had like 2 little spins, so hoping the race that won't happen. But it's kind of maybe more likely to happen because of other cars around you, you know.
Sector 2 is 0.5 off your best.
I think the key with these older tyres is basically just keep it super smooth, but just carry it slightly less speed in. Not a lot, but just slightly less. And actually, it's not too bad. But if you're still trying to make the same braking points and carry the same kind of speed through, it's just not going to work, basically. It's also a lot looser under braking. Seems to have quite a bit of rear bias going on, which is kind of a good thing, yeah, especially at the start. Helps get the car turned in and that, but it is making things a little bit tricky now. It's all part of the fun, really, so don't mind that.
You've just done a 206.9. Alright Tim, 10 minutes of fuel remaining. Sector 3 is 0.3, slower than your best.
I'm up on my best lap. That just shows how shit my best lap was. And actually, how you can actually do decent laps with these tyres. If you get it bang on.
Sector 1 is 0 tenths off your best.
Ah no. Oh, that's going to be a good lap as well.
Track limits, keep it within the lines.
That's where you can lose a lot of time, I think, with older tyres. With that one, and the other kind of long right-hander before the S's. And the slower ones, you kind of, as long as you just carry that a little bit less speed, you'll be alright. That's this one as well. It's just won't turn. When you put on power, it just instantly understeers. Although, this is going alright. So I've got less fuel now, car's lighter and I'm actually a bit quicker on this bit. So this corner's not too bad because the right hand side tyres aren't wearing nearly as badly, but yeah, it's not a good lap in the end. It was going to be quite good. What time have we got? Yeah, another like 4 minutes, then another 2 laps, and the test will be done. Again, this is quite respectable. The right-handers are fine. It's just the no, not the right. Yeah, that's right-handers that are fucked, aren't they? Yeah. Well, that first corner, I think I must have fucked that corner up on my first lap. It always seems to be up.
Sector 1 is 2 tenths off your best.
Honestly, I think if I did a perfect lap right now, I would not be far off my best lap. So it's definitely more about driving than it is the tyres. You know, I think it'd be easy to blame the tyres when you make a mistake or, you know, something happens. But actually, you're not too bad. It's this bit where I think even if you drove it absolutely perfectly, you just can't. Yeah, you just can't drive it the same.
Sector 2 is 0.4 off your best.
What I might do is just put a little bit of fuel in once this run's done. Get the new tyres on. Starting to struggle now, but get some new tyres on, see how fast we can go, see what difference it actually makes. Because I think I'm driving better. I think I'm driving better now than I was when I first started this run, so I think I could definitely beat that 205. Right, do one more lap,
Last
see how
lap
it goes.
time was at 207.7. Sector 3 is 1.5, slower than your best.
Sketchy. And all this ballast, all this fuel, these bad tyres.
Sector 1 is a tenth off your pace. Okay, Tim, 5 minutes of fuel remaining. 5 minutes.
Ooh, I'm up. In terms of the exit that corner anyway, I'm still 8
Sector 2
tenths
is
down. but-
0.7 off your best.
So I don't think the tyres are that bad, you know. They're not that bad. Right, let's stick some fuel in. I think I'll pretty much just leave it there because I think I kind of know what. There go medium, I suppose. I kind of know what. What's going to happen now with these tyres? So I'm going to pit, stick on some fresh rubber, put a tiny bit of fuel in, and see what sort of lap time I can set. I'm obviously nowhere near a 203 because yeah, Andrew's a good driver and he's got no ballast.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
It'd also be interesting to see how long it takes to change tyres. I think apparently it's a long time in this car. Oh, make that one first. Bloody hell, hurry up. My God, they take their time. Look at that. Jeez Louise, man. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Right, let's have some fun. How long have I got? I've got about 10 minutes.
Next exit looks clear.
Do a few laps. See what sort of time I can set. I probably won't go any faster because I will drive it now. It's one of those things when you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to push for a good lap time. It never comes. So we'll see anyway. Be interested to see just how it feels, you know what I mean? So what a difference the tyres actually made. And even though the tyres are green on the indicator, for some reason they're never quite as good on the first kind of outlap. They just don't really seem to have much grip, even though there's no reason why they shouldn't do, you know. There's something in the modelling which just says, on the outlap, they're going to be shit. Yeah, just got a lot more grip through the fast stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I need to change Jan's third for that one. I really don't. Right, sweepstake on the time. Do we reckon I can get into the 204s? I'd kind of be a bit disappointed if I couldn't, to be honest. I know I did that lap with kind of fresh tyres, but a lot less fuel, so it feels like I'm driving it better now, so we'll see. Nice wide entrance to start this one. And you get as good exit as possible. Yeah. Send some purples. Car is so much more stable in the braking. That's probably the biggest difference actually. Come on, come on, come on. No. Ah, so annoying.
Sector 1 time is good.
Literally inches in that. Yeah, this is a good lap so far. Whoa, there's traction control might have helped me there, I think. That's annoying, it did cost me time. Ah, might. Ah.
Mind these track limits, please, Tim.
This is what I mean, when you're after lap time, it doesn't come. Oh well. Got a few more laps. In a way, it's quite good not to give away your ultimate pace in these sort of sessions anyway. So obviously if Colin sees I've done a 204, he kind of knows, yeah, I need to do a 204. If he sees I've done a 205, he might say, oh, that's right, I'm kind of doing no 205, so I need to practice it more. That's the theory anyway. Right, let's see if we can put this lap together now.
Got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Oh. Kept it on the track this time, but it was a shit exit.
Sector 1 time's okay.
Not quite sure what went on there, but anyway. That's better. Losing loads of time. Just get on.
Sector 2 time is okay.
I'm losing time. That's not good. No, that's alright. Might just sneak in. That's not very good. Not very good. Okay. 251. Ugh. Let's get a 204 in there.
That was a 205.2.
One more lap. This is the last lap.
Sector 3 time is fast.
Do or die. So basically die. The question is when. Basically then.
Sector 1 is a tenth off your best.
Still tons of time on the first bit and we'll lose it on this bit. Yep. great. Yeah, I'm there or thereabouts.
Sector 2 time is good.
It's not great. I kind of nailed that one last time, unfortunately. This is the one, isn't it? This is the fucking corner. Yeah, getting some time there. Yes, come on. It's on. Maybe. I kind of took a tighter line, so nicked me some time originally, but it's so close. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Tried to hold fourth.
Lap time was 2:05.0. Sector 3 time is
not
quick.
quite. I tried. Well, that was a long fuel run and a bit of a quality run as well. Just Brucey bonus for you there. So, yeah, maybe that's giving you some help. Maybe not, but it kept me occupied for a bit anyway. So, yeah, I'll see you for the race, I guess.